A chickadee check, a chickadee check, a chickadee chickadee check. La la la. Check, 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 check. And then you got phones here. If you want them, if they bug you, I don't think it really matters to have them. Oh, I didn't end up smoking that joint, did I?
No, we didn't.
Oh, you smoked too?
Oh, I smoke.
Oh, I didn't even know, buddy. I'm sorry.
That's
I pictured you just for an old square because you're a banker.
Yeah, nope. I'm new age banker.
Mm-hmm.
I got all them tattoos and stuff.
I forget it. You're like, you ever meet Doug Nagy?
I've only met him like once.
Doug Nagy's the same. All tatted up. Buddy wears his long sleeves, you know, like just, and he looks like a fucking, I go, you look like an accountant, and but you're not. You're like, you got this other like raging beast inside an accountant. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I'm actually working for Revenue Canada. And he's very soft-spoken, like when he's not a comic. Like when he's on stage, he just screams.
He yells and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and then, but when he's talking, he's like, why have I never met you before, sir? You know, he talks kind of like that. And you're like, whoa, you are really have some sort of like repressed shit inside.
Oh, wild, yeah.
Because he's like got a different persona that he lets out on stage.
Yeah.
Awesome. Here. I gotta shut this one down. Let me just make sure. This.
Check, check. Cool. Check, check.
Come on now. Shut your mouth. There we go. And nothing's going out live, so if there is anything that does manage to be said that you regret,
okay,
there'll be time to remove it.
Okay, sounds good.
And yeah, I'm just recording, but not live streaming.
Like I said, the only thing I can think of is like I don't want to name the bank.
Yeah, no customers, no specifics, no like obviously like anything like that. Mm-hmm. No, I just wanted to have the spirit of a banker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were a banker. You know what I shouldn't and should say.
Yeah, exactly. And I can imagine it's only gotten worse. Like more on the shouldn't side, you know?
Yep.
My buddy is like, he used to be the main guy, like he used to be like my sidekick on the show, kind of like, he was my whipping boy.
Okay.
Which I believe every talk show should have a whipping boy.
Yeah.
Because they've all had them. It's a place to go when your jokes don't land. So like if I had a joke and it didn't land, or there was like a lull in conversation and we need a laugh, I could always just like make fun of that guy, right? Johnny Carson had like Ed McMahon, who was a drunk, and he had his like band leader who he made wear ridiculous suits, and so he could always make fun of them. And then so I had Charters, and he worked at Toyota.
Okay.
And he's like a bigwig there, like he's a really smart guy, right?
Okay.
So I could never mention that he worked there. So I always just called him Master of Industry. And I think I only mentioned it once, and I had to bleep it. But he really, like, we had a hot tub video, which is funny, and I can't play it because someone at work at Toyota was like, "Oh, I saw what you guys did, like on a lift truck." He was just like, "Hey, I saw that shit you did is super funny, man. I thought that was super funny." And Dave's like, "Take it down right now." And I'm like, "What do you mean? This guy said it was funny." He's like, "I don't want people at work knowing what I'm doing." And I'm like, "Fuck, man. It's like, what's the point of doing it? Like, you know, half the people that were listening, like, because he had a management job there, and I was shitting on him all the time.
Yeah.
And they thought it was hilarious. They're shitting on one of our bigwigs that they're kind of like scared of, and I'm taking the piss out of them all the time. And they loved it. It was a lot of the core audience were people from Toyota.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, and they were kind of in on the thing that this guy who's like Mr. Uppity plays guitar on this podcast, and like, really? Yeah, and the host is always taking the piss out of him, you know. And then he always played the super conservative character who was like politically correct company man, you know. And then I would be the one that was like saying, "Oh, that's all stupid," right? Because like I was the antithesis of that, and it worked. And then the pandemic happened, and he became that actual person.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like I don't know what happened. I think he literally, like, I think what happened was, you know, like when you're before the pandemic, you would get together with your friends, and your friends would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You're off the rails, man. Like, you're out of your mind." And they would show you their perspective, how it's different. And then in the pandemic, you just go on doing your own shit. And so he was going to work, coming home, hanging out with people from work, and coming home. And so he only had this like Toyota mindset. And then he was so corporatized that he was he was offended by fucking everything. And I was like, "What is wrong with you?" It bothers me. I showed him a video to one of his on YouTube one time.
Yeah, I
offended his family.
That's ridiculous. I know me as a person, I have like a limit as how far I can go in banking. Like, I'm not gonna be a corporate manager, you know what I mean? Like, I might be like a supervisor. Like, I got maybe like one leadership role in me, but like, I'm not. I'm never
leadership material.
No, I'm not down. I'm not bleeding green. I'm not going to downtown Toronto. I'm not. I'm there I'm there for the paycheck, man. I got more important things to worry about in life. Like,
yeah, man, I get that totally. Yeah, because that's how I ended up talking to this guy I respected. He was like my mentor.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What am I doing here? Like, what could I possibly do that's gonna be better? Like, that's gonna make me happy here?" And he kind of laughs and he's like, "Well, we could probably send you to Chatham when this guy retires and you can do his job, or we could send you up here and you can do this guy's job." Or I'm like, "I don't want to do any of those." And he said, "You should get the fuck out of here, really." He goes, "Why? What are you afraid of?"
Right.
He goes, "Are you afraid you're gonna fail?" He's like, "Well, then you come back. We'll take you back. Like,
we're gonna hire you.
Yeah.
You need good talent."
Yeah, that's the thing. There's hard to find people.
That is like the best thing I will say about like working at something like TD is, though, like if I don't like working, like egg just didn't work for me, so I switched industries. Right? You got a big bank. When I first got in, I didn't realize how many little parts there were.
Yeah.
I came in and I worked retail my first like 4 years.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. That's how you should. You should do, right? Because then you understand it right from the ground up. Because that's the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
You should always be like, that's the thing about FCC that was the real problem, is that they weren't profit driven, right? So they were able to do things for the right reasons, which is cool, but they not just for profit, but they also made a fucking ton of profit. So then because they weren't profit driven, they just had all this fucking money they had nothing to do with. So they made jobs. They built a big fucking ivory tower in Regina, you know? They filled it with a bunch of people that just came up with ideas of things for the account managers to do out in the field. That'll be fun. You guys can go pick up, go on a food drive, or you can do this or that. I was like, how about you guys do it, and I'll just lend money like I've been doing, and you guys stay out of my fucking way.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would always say. It was more of a team player. I go, you guys are coming up with great ideas, and you're making us do it on top of the work we already are doing. That is too much. So like I would be like, fuck this. That was actually I think the thing I was saying to blow up the meeting, because they were really happy about the thing that corporate came out with, and I just shit all over it like that, like, "Oh great, another thing," like, and then but I said it in the worst way possible too. Like, everyone got real mad and started side fights that I wasn't even part of. That's the best, because you just start it and then you're quiet sitting there, and then everyone else is fighting, and you're like, this is terrible. But it was fun. That's the only way I would get through. We used to do Like, how agricultural were you? Were you like, do you ever have to read the Ontario Farmer, the newspaper, the Ontario Farmer?
No, like, because I would never dealt with customers, so like
Did you grow up on a farm?
no,
No.
so I had no farming background.
Really?
I just kind of fell into the role. I was looking for promotion at TD, and that was kind of like the first one that came up. I was living in North Bay at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so weird though. A person working in agriculture didn't grow up in it to me, because it's like
Oh yeah.
it's like because it's so foreign, you know.
Oh,
It's-
90% of the people I worked with grew up on a farm.
Yeah, yeah.
There was only a handful of us that didn't.
Yeah, yeah. They did farm credit too. There was only a few that didn't. And you're like, you didn't grow up on a farm? Like, it was always the conversation. No, I didn't. And I'm like, how are you here?
Yeah.
And then, but when I started, it was kind of almost a rarity. There were like I met this guy. He worked for Farm Credit, but he worked for CIBC before for like 20 years, and he was like, his dad was a banker and his granddad was a banker, and he grew up wanting to be a banker. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy, man. Like,
That's wild.
that is wild. Like, I understand the farmer aspect of it, because it's
Yeah.
like, it's your lifestyle, and you do, like, when you're living on a family farm, like, from like, as long as you can remember, you're part of getting the crop in, and like,
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out, you know it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
and you don't get as much for Christmas, and
It's a family affair, right?
like, you're all part of it. And then as you get older, you start following the markets, and you start paying attention to how to sell the crop and all the ways you can kind of like how it makes money and that. And then you get to a certain point where you're like, oh, I could do this for myself, you know? But my parents always told me, don't. And my dad said, don't do this. It's not for you.
Yeah.
He said I was too smart for it, which is so stupid. That is the dumbest advice ever.
Hey man.
A smart farmer is a good farmer. You know, a smart plumber is a good plumber.
Yeah.
Like, they would tell kids, your marks are too good to be an electrician. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Which means I'm going to be a really fucking good electrician.
Exactly, it's dumb. Actually, I took an aptitude test. I was supposed to be a bus driver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bus driver. And I got good marks and everything in school. That's what I had. I did the test I start recording. Yeah, Iron Sheik.
Oh yeah. I'm a big wrestling guy.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, that was one of the highlights of my life. I interviewed the Iron Sheik in Kingston. And
Yes, you reposted the episode when he passed.
When he passed,
and
yeah.
I did listen to the.
oh, it was he was such a nice guy to us, really. Like, he had Can you pass me one of those ashtrays, please? I don't know, some dude, I think he was a listener at the time. He was part of the arrangement of having the Sheik go to Kingston. Said, do you want to interview him? I said, sure. And the one guy that interviewed him first, like, we lined up with all the press,
Yeah.
and I had been doing the podcast for not that long. Okay. So it was me and my cousin Mike went up, and it's like there's only, well, we don't know what we're doing. We have a Zoom recorder, we fucked it up, but there was like real news there and stuff, like, with us. So we were like, holy shit, you know? But there were also jackass podcasters and stuff, and they were like doing, like, dressed up like Ric Flair, and they were like wooing at the Iron Sheik and like trying to get a rise out of him and stuff. And he was like, they're a bunch of jackasses. And then I had a plan. Like, I did my research and I wanted to really be like professional. But you see, the Sheik just kind of wanted to tell everybody that he was like this OUAA champion and that he needs to be given the respect. He's a real wrestler, not like that jabroni Hulk Hogan and stuff. And then
Big jabroni.
yeah, so I really played that in. Like, I was like, gave him all his credits.
Nice.
You know, so he knew I respected him. And then he called me a very intelligent man. And then we actually went, if you see how he rode on that,
Yeah.
he was so tired because the whole day they had him like wheeling around everywhere. And my cousin Mike had to like hold his hand to basically finish writing it, because he made him write like a novel about the Dutch Hall or whatever. But the Iron Sheik was cool. And then Jake the Snake, I opened for Jake the Snake one time in Tilsonburg.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He was cool too. Jake the Snake, great storyteller, actually. Great storyteller. He told a good story about Macho Man and and Rick Rude. He told a story about Rick Rude, where I think his. Rick Rude was going to kiss Jake the Snake's girlfriend. Okay. And because you know how Rick Rude would go in the audience and kiss a girl?
Yeah.
And then so Jake the Snake went and made his girlfriend give him oral sex, and then he ejaculated in his girlfriend's mouth. And then when Rick Rude went to kiss her, she had held it in her mouth and then spit it in Rick Rude's mouth.
Oh my God.
And then apparently Rick Rude, because he was planning on doing this as a rib on Jake the Snake, that he was going to kiss his girl or whatever, but Jake flipped it once he found out. And then he ran in and like punched like a steel door or something, like trying to get at Jake. He was really upset.
That's wild.
That is a diabolical trick. And like wrestlers, you hear that, like wrestlers are like the extreme of like, you think that like that locker room kind of like jokes and stuff, you know, like taking a shit in someone's bag or whatever. Yeah. And I would say like the only grouping of people that would come close to wrestlers in that regard would be comedians.
Oh, for sure. I've seen it quite a few times. They're very similar in like how you got to pay your dues, you got to work the road, right?
Right, yeah. That's what I think too. Every time you see a wrestler and comedian get together, they end up usually finding like a lot of common ground, because you go through the same kind of process, like doing gigs where you're not making money and you're like beating the shit out of yourself for no reason. Like if we're doing it emotionally,
but we're emotional damage. They're physical.
They're physical damage, but God damn it, it's humiliating. It's got to be kind of emotionally damaging too if you're like getting suplexed in an arena for
no one cares.
4 people, you know. You're like, ouch for nothing.
That'd be some emotional damage.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think that like the only thing I would like to do more than stand-up comedy would be a bad guy wrestler.
Oh, a heel wrestler?
Yeah, real bad guy. Like I love the Andy Kaufman, like Tony Clifton character. Yeah. Where he's like he gets to be bad on purpose. Like to me, that's almost like as much fun as getting laughs. If you could get a whole crowd to hate you, that's so fun. It's so punk rock, hey?
Oh, there's just an art to it, and there's some of those wrestlers back in the day who could just like get boos.
Oh yeah. There's still one or two now that are doing it like great.
Yeah.
Like I still watch it, eh? I'm a closet wrestling guy.
Oh, I'm an open wrestling guy.
You're out of the closet. You're open, eh?
Yeah, I had a wrestling podcast for like 3 years.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have asked you this before we went on the show.
That's
could
okay.
have talked about your credits.
I don't have it anymore.
Oh, really? Yeah, no. Did you do it by yourself?
No, there was me and a couple other guys. Wally Warwick was one of the guys.
Oh, Wally was one of the guys?
Yeah, my buddy Brandon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Wally, I knew he did a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, same one.
That was mine, yeah.
Yeah, that's because he's a crazy wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I am too, man. But I kind of hide it because I've been made to believe that it's white trash. But guess what? I might be white trash.
I think we're all a little trashy feet.
Yeah, we're all degrees, eh? It's like your degrees of autistic. Your degrees. I think everything's like a degree, you know, like your degrees of gay. You know, like you're not 100% straight. You're not 100% gay. Like I wouldn't feel like I would hug a person if I cared for them, even if they were a man. Yeah. That would be more gay than, say, my brother. Like he would probably not do that. You know.
Okay.
You know, so like there's degrees, like what I'm saying. Gender, even. I think we express masculine tendencies and feminine tendencies, right? So we're kind of both man and woman, right? Oh, for fuck, I think I forgot my jokes. But and then we have what was the other degrees that we were talking about? Where do we start? Wrestling. Yeah,
there are degrees
of white trash.
Yeah.
So I decided to put myself in a checkbox. So you say NASCAR, white trash, right?
NASCAR, right? Yeah.
I like it. There you go.
I don't.
You don't, right? No. So I'm more white trash right there. So that's a point for me. I should put that in. I should give the point to you for being a white trash
For not being
white trash, but I got it for being trash. So we'll have to reset after the show starts. But this is just an official white trash counter, and then we'll do the other thing. So white trash. What's another white trash thing? We would both get like wrestling. We both are wrestling.
Yeah, very trash.
That's a point apiece. So now it's like 2-1. Do you? Oh, tattoos.
I got a bunch. Yeah.
Okay, I have none.
Yeah.
That's a 2-2.
Okay.
Right? What other would make you? Do you have? What makes you white trash? Do you have a broken down car on your property?
I don't.
Neither do I. Damn it. Something burned.
Broken home?
Your whole home's broken? Is your?
No.
Oh, like your family's broken.
Yeah.
Does that make you trash?
It used to.
You used to, maybe. Yeah. Is your family broken?
Divorced. Yeah.
That does give you a point.
Okay. I'm just finding ways to get me points.
Yeah, you end up beating me on that one. I had a stable family life.
My family loved each other.
I should. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. I don't know. It must be like part Mexican or something. So no, wait. What if you're poor?
I do all right.
Yeah, relative. No points for either of us. We're not poor enough to call ourselves poor. Racist?
Sometimes. No.
Point for you. No. I think we both are not. Have to say not racist. Even if you are racist, you have to say not racist. But like, what's to say you're not racist? To say like, I think black guys are good dancers. Is that racist? If it's positive.
Positive stereotype.
I'm a positive racist. I'm positively racist. That's what I mean. Like, I just say things like, I think Chinese people are good at math, you know?
I like the good things about them.
Yeah, I just like the good thing. I believe something's positive about everyone, about every nation and people, but it's racist.
White man can jump.
Yeah, no, they can't, but you know what they are? They're good organizers, you know? You're going to say, I'll give them everybody something. You know, like you go Eskimos. Oh, those guys, they are resourceful. You know, you can always come up with something. You know, you know the Latinos are polite. You know, what do you say? That's racist. There's a couple.
That's a positive racism.
Yeah, positively racist. Yeah, like you go like, man, black guys got big dicks. That's positively racist, you know? I would love it if I had a race, if they looked at me, my race, and they were like, that is, you obviously are good at fighting, you know, or something.
Yeah.
I think white people legit are good at drinking.
Yeah.
Like something about
The
survival.
European?
Yeah, because they had to drink beer instead of water or something, like up in the Viking land or whatever. So anyone from that like lineage of people that do that are like good drinkers.
Oh yeah, like all of England, right? Like
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah, like Bavaria, like most of the Europeans are pretty good drinkers. Russians can drink, you know? And then you get to like, you hang out with like some people from other parts of the world are not as good drinkers. That's just the truth. They get drunk easy. You can't even argue it.
No. Whites are good drinkers.
Yeah, better drinkers. Black guys get drunk easier than white guys. They do. Then they drink fruitier drinks. That's my opinion. Take me to the I'm not saying this behind anyone's back. I'll say it publicly to anyone's face. That's my opinion. Same with cigarettes. They like the minty ones.
Okay.
For menthols and stuff. There's always like a little bit of flavor, right? It's
a little spice to the life.
Yeah, that's racist. That's racist to say everyone does that of one certain thing. That's the thing. Even if you say something positive, it's racist. But so we all kind of have that, even if we're nice.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think so.
What if you think like if a person of color is like you white guys think you're better than everybody? That's racist, right?
Racist, yeah.
All right. Even if it's right. Right? No, I don't. But if they thought that would be kind of mean, right? That's why I've campaigned for a long time, Rob, to be pink. I think they should come up with a new race. So the white, if you're white and you want to like differentiate yourself from the bad whites, you know, the bad ones. like the trashy ones, or like not
The white trash.
Yeah, but not white. Good white trash is good. Like good white trash, I love them. You know, they're fun to drink with. They're good to their families, and they're like hardworking people. You know, I like good white trash. But you know, like real like shady people or douchey people, rich douchebags. You know, like bad racist people, like people that would do something bad. You know, like. Those are the type of people. They're like the white people that colonized, you know, the ones that genocided and stuff, you know.
The white privilege, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that I feel bad about being white because of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to distance myself from them by joining the pink race.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not completely white. I'm kind of pink. If you look at my skin, I'm pink, I think. So
Or pink, yeah.
I'll just call myself pink, and then I don't have to have any of the guilt, right?
I'm with you.
Yeah, but you have to pass a test to see if you're racist or not. Don't you think? And in order to do that, you can't just be two white guys sitting around talking about it. That's not going to solve our problems. Because me and you could talk for the complete hour tonight, and we would never be able to definitively figure out if we're racist. No, because we're both
It's a losing battle.
We're both too white.
Question for you. What are pinks good at?
What are pinks good at? Ooh, a good question. What are pinks good? Tolerance. We're the best at tolerance. Understanding. I don't know, man. Just staying out of the way. You know what
Blending
I think?
in.
You know what I think is bad too. You know, it's like you know how like there is white privilege, right? But it's mostly about rich privilege, and then the poor white guys don't get it, you know? And then it's still the poor white guys, they get treated like shit, like the other people, like everyone else, and just this exclusive bit of white people get. So just make those ones pink.
I'll make them pink.
Yeah, because I feel more like the white guys that got treated like garbage, like the rest of them. You know what I mean? I try not to pay taxes. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
That's what the white people do well. They don't pay their taxes.
No, that's what the bad, like the good ones, I think. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is that I think I'm pink. Anyways, I'm trying to put this thing together. Let's see if we can get it going tonight, Rob.
All right.
We should get this show started. This has just been chatter, but it's not a real show until we do this thing, that we call... Where are you, man? The theme song. Welcome to the Dutch Hall. Oh, listen to that hot crowd, Rob. Listen to that crowd. We have a great show. This is the beginning of season 11, everyone. We're back in the pool shed, doing it all over again. I hope you're glad to hear our voices. Unfortunately, it's only our regular co-host of this show, Derek Van Houten, is home with his new baby boy. And the boy is having a little trouble sleeping through the night, and Derek needs to perform all his fatherly duties, so he remains on hiatus. And Johnny Renton, our regular director, is the big red truck has passed away, which is a sad day. And the big red truck has gotten Johnny through a lot of pinches, and it has passed away. So he's mourning the loss of his truck, but also not willing to walk from his new location, which is quite a distance. So he was unable to come here tonight. So Johnny just gets this. Yes. That's a lame excuse, Johnny. You should have started walking sooner. I do not forgive you. So, but we did have a guest, a new guest, a virgin guest, a very first time guy, a guy who still has excitement about being on this program. It's not a chore you're doing to make a friend happy, so he's not just lonely by himself doing podcasts for no one to listen to. You get to pretend you're doing it with one other person, and this person this week is Rob Deleo. Everybody, Rob Deleo. Come on, man. There you go, Rob. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
I really do appreciate you coming out. All right, enough for Rob. He doesn't deserve that. He's his first time on. And I am your host of this show, and two-time, you're supposed to say two-time.
Two-time.
President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke. There, the rest of it for me. There, thank you. And season 11. So season 11 has started, and I made a promise that every show is a game show. So far, it's 3-2 for Rob. The white trash game ended up heating up. Started to turn out pretty good.
Okay.
It's only part of it because you'll now be awarded points arbitrarily for other things.
Okay.
Your white trashness is not the only reason you will get points on this program.
Okay.
It can be for a myriad of other reasons, and there's always the secret word.
Okay.
Which the secret word, of course, I told the audience before the program, before you got on. I said the secret word is, and I spouted it into the camera. And I didn't just do that at the end of the show and then splice it into the beginning. I did it at the beginning. And then, so if you say it, then there will be some sort of fanfare.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what the secret word is. But if you say it, then you're going to get a prize from Clean Flow, our sponsor of this program, Clean Flow. And while we're at it, Rob, if you don't mind, did I introduce myself? I did. Clean Flow is the sponsor of this program, and I actually had a meeting with Clean Flow, 2 meetings. One of the representatives from Clean Flow came to my comedy show as well, and I was quite happy to see him. And what Clean Flow told me is that they would like me on this program, and as the sponsor of our program, they can tell me whatever they want to do, and I will do it. So they wanted me to bring back another sponsor, which is an odd request. So they have flipped the bill for us to bring back an old sponsor of this program. I'm happy to bring him back. I'm sorry, I'm really setting this up, Rob, because I want to make sure the audience knows this is a big deal. This is something that hasn't happened since pre-pandemic, Rob. Pre-pandemic, big deal.
Big deal.
After long-awaited return, I am happy to announce that we are bringing back Van Dyke Party Services. Hooray, everyone. Come on, look at that. Yeah, that's what we needed. What is Van Dyke Party Services, Rob? Well, let me tell you what it is. It's, if you want to have a good time, you like to have a good time?
I love to have a good time.
You have a bunch of friends who also like to have a good time?
I think so.
And sometimes you ever get together with them and you're not having a good time? And you're just like, these guys are a bunch of pear-shaped losers, and maybe I should invite fun people to hang out with me instead of these square pieces of shit. And then, just call Van Dyke Party Services, and we'll send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins, and they'll come there in bright yellow jackets, and you're going to have the time of your life. And all it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash, plus all of our expenses, which will be dear. Let me just guarantee that. But you're going to have the time of your life, guaranteed. Van Dyke Party Services. Don't live your life in regret. Brought to you by Clean Flow. Okay? So they're back, Rob.
Nice.
It's only a matter of time for the phone rings off the hook for that one, is Van Dyke Party Services.
Yeah, how do you get hold of them?
Oh, yeah, you can just reach us at thedutchhall@gmail.com, or, I don't know, you can just find me on the internet. PeteVanDykeComedian.com. That's my website. This is a way to do all my commercials at once before we even get into anything on the show. Who else do I got to do? Patreon. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/DutchHall, and you can get exclusive content, including the hot tub video until Dave finds out we're putting it up there, and the mustache one, and there's one of us watching this girl who's like she's like they call it like outsider music. Have you heard of that?
No.
BJ Snowden is her name. Have you ever heard of BJ Snowden? Well, BJ Snowden is a great artist that we have. I introduced her to the fellas, and they watch. We review one of her performances.
Ah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can show it to you after the show. BJ Snowden, look it up. It's great, but
Sounds good.
it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. It's very much her own style, you know. So it's kind of interesting. I like to show those to Beaver. This guy on my show, Beaver, because he has like very animated reactions to things he hasn't seen before, and then I like to expose him to new things. That's what I like to do, because he's like my dad's like that too. Like I always like to tell my dad about things I know will make him mad, because it's new. Like he doesn't get it, you know. Like I'll bring up like what it means. Like I met a non-binary person the other day, Dad, and just watch him fume, you know. He doesn't know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but he knows he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Whatever this thing is that you're talking about, and the more I would explain it, the more you get confused and angry by it. But it's fun for me. You get like, I don't want to get to that age, man. Do you like where you get to an age where you're like, if you don't keep up,
Yeah.
like if you don't maintain friends with young people. I think this is what it is.
Is that what?
Like, I'm lucky to be a comedian because I get to hang out with younger people. So a lot of my friends who are like the same age as me in comedy are like 30, you know?
Yeah.
Like they started when they were 20. I started when I was 40, you know? Like,
Right.
So like, it's like so I do have friends that are that age. And that makes me understand young people a lot better.
Yeah.
Plus,
yeah.
and then my kids are 10 years younger than that. Like they're 20, so then I get to know them too, you know. Like, but
Like if you're not a comedian, or like how do you?
yeah, if you're just in a bubble where you're going to work or hanging out with people at your age all the time, and then you just don't. No one's giving you a memo about how society changed, you know, like or what the issues of like half of the population are, you know, that you're just like on the other side of the hill of giving a shit about, you know?
Oh yeah, you got your own stuff to worry about.
Yeah,
Like,
you're just worrying about like paying the bills and eating and stuff, and then all of a sudden they came up with new things and you don't know about it, right? And then everyone's mad at you because you're an idiot. You're asking questions, right? And you're like, I'm supposed to know what all these things are, you know, like. And then we figure it out pretty quick. You know, it's only an issue until you figure it out, and then it's not. Don't you think?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, have you ever you just meet like, let's say you have like let's make up like a country that's not real, you know, like Zealand, you know, that's not a real place, is it?
Well, there's New Zealand.
Yeah, the old one is what I'm talking
The
about.
old Zealand.
Yeah, those old Zealanders are just garbage, right? Like, you think that? Because one time one took a shit on your lawn or something, you know? You're like mad because some fucking old Zealander came and took a dump on your grass. And so then you think, oh, those old Zealanders, they're like animals, you know? They just poop on your lawn.
It's the racism, Pete.
Yeah, I know, but you just base it on that one guy,
Yeah.
right? And then you realize, like, you meet two guys, and that second guy goes, you know what? I've never pooped on a lawn in my life. You know, that guy must have been out of his mind, you know? And you realize, oh, it's just people. Some of them poop on lawns, and some of them don't. Yeah, of all persuasions, you know? Try to tell my dad that about like telemarketers, you know, like not 1 billion people, 1.4 billion people are not all telemarketers trying to rip you off.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like he thinks that everyone from the country of India is trying to rob him. You know, I'm like, no. There are people in every country that do good things and bad things.
Some people, they just have a job.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? You know what I noticed about, I don't know why this whole thing's about racism, because I don't really talk about race very much, but there was this one show I did about meet a Muslim, and I had on a Muslim drywaller,
Okay.
right? So we drank beers with him, right? Because at the time, like,
As part of the show?
yeah, it was an episode of the Dutch Hall,
Oh, okay.
and so we had in this Muslim guy to ask him questions because we didn't know much about the religion, right? And the guy told us all this great information. and he's a good guy. And then we the whole kind of motivation was there's a lot of Islamophobia at the time, and we wanted to like just meet one of these people to show that's a regular guy, just like there's nothing like different about the fact that this guy happens to have a different faith. Right. And so then I get a guy who's like listens to my show and says, I listened to that Meet a Muslim show that you put on, and you're right, they should all go back to their country. And I'm like, I never said that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I never said anything close to that. You know, the whole point of it was the opposite of that.
Yeah.
You know? But people just heard what they wanted, you know? Like they got, I don't know how they got whatever that out of what I was saying.
Or just wanted to be angry.
Yeah, like they just maybe saw the title and were in their own angry head for the whole thing, not listening, you know? Because it was the opposite of what we put out, you know? But you can't really control what people do with what you say. Even if you say, like if there's the one person on my feedback, I have to hit this. Probably Johnny hits that when I say feedback. But, I have to do it all. I'm doing everything this night, Rob. I'm a little discombobulated. I'm sorry, but
And many times.
I did want to talk to you about a few things. We're going to get into the interview. I'm just getting sidetracked because I'm excited to be doing podcasting again. And this is kind of like old school Dutch Hall where Pete just goes on rambles to try to fill time. And I'm going to be more disciplined now.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to our guest tonight, Rob Deleo. Now, Rob, you are, I got to tell you, as a comedian.
Deleo.
Deleo.
Yeah.
I did that wrong twice already, so I'm sorry about that, Rob. Deleo. Deleo?
Yeah.
What is that, Italian?
Yeah.
And is your mother and father Italian?
No, just my dad's half. I'm only a quarter Italian.
You're only a quarter Italian. And what's the rest of you?
Quarter Irish, quarter German, and quarter Slovak, I think, something like that.
All right, hey. That is a real mutt blend.
Yeah, oh,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just Canadian.
Yeah, they'll give you good stock. I like it. We diagnosed Johnny. Do you know Johnny Renton?
Yeah.
And do you know what he is?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's hard to guess, eh?
Yeah,
he's so, like, you can't even guess. Turns out he's German Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have guessed that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But the German is really Austrian, I think.
Okay.
Austrian Italian. His Austrian grandma was just like my Dutch grandma. I met her. Sweet lady.
Nice.
She was excited to meet me.
Was she on the show?
No, I just picked up Johnny to go to our gig.
Oh, nice. Nice.
She goes, can I meet him? And I'm like, I want to meet your grandma. Like, I was excited to meet her, too. I think Johnny was trying to keep us apart because he knew that there would be, like, sparks between us. And he didn't want that to happen. And I can't say there wasn't sparks. Johnny, you're good. You better keep your grandma away from me if you're listening to this. She's charming. But she did remind me a little bit too much of my grandma.
Uh-oh.
So I feel weird about making out with her. Rob Deleo, I wanted to ask you. To be honest, how long have you been doing comedy for?
About 5 years.
And at the beginning, when I met you, I found out you were you shared an occupation with me, that you were a dirty banker.
I am.
And I gotta admit, I distanced myself a little bit from you because people like you give me like PTSD from those days, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you were wearing khaki pants right now and like a button-up shirt, like I would have twitches, you know, where I'd be back behind the desk, you know?
Bring my suit and tie next time.
Yeah, like, oh, fuck, that gives me sweats. I was honestly had like a panic attack one time at a Chinese food restaurant just because I was there waiting to pick up my order. And there was like a group of like bankers that were all having like a lunch or something. And they were just chatting with that talk. And it just brought me right back to the
banker speak?
Yeah, it brought me right into the thick of it, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Not the part I liked either. Like, I like talking to customers, not the bankers, you know? Like, I like to talk to the customers better because they were like cowboys, you know? Like, they were the free ones that made all the money.
Right, yeah.
I always thought that. I'm like, why am I on this side of the desk, you know? Like, it kind of... So, when did you feel the compulsion that to want to do stand-up comedy? Like when did you kind of like think you were gonna that you wanted to give it a try?
Yeah, no, I've been writing jokes probably for about like, probably almost a year before like I did my first set.
Yeah.
Just always a fan and all that.
Like growing up and stuff, you were a fan?
Growing up as a fan, yeah.
And like who was like the first like comedian that you remember as a kid?
Like for some reason I remember my parents had a Howie Mandel stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was big. I remember that album. Yeah, the one where he blew the glove off on his head.
Yeah.
I remember that one too as a kid. It was around the same time as Dice.
Yep.
Yeah, and I listened to both those albums. They were pivotal, kind of for me. And
but yeah. So like I've been writing for a while.
Yeah, and always a fan.
Always a fan, and then just I had to do a couple like public speaking things, and like I was horrible at it, and like I fumbled, and I was like, I need to fix this. And I was also going to like just watch a couple open mics beforehand as well. I was living up in North Bay at the time. So it was small open mics, right? And I was just going watching, and I was like, I just need to try.
Yeah.
Get the first couple out of the way and like try it, right?
Yeah.
So my first, like, I promised myself I'd try like 10 just to like I say like I dipped my feet in enough, and then I would give it like a feel, right?
Yeah.
And then
and then you caught it.
I caught it, yeah.
Yeah, did you get to 10 before you realized that you were going to go past 10, or did you know like sooner?
Yeah, probably around, I want to say like 6 or 7.
You're
like I had like a decent set, not a great set by any means, but like a decent set for someone who had been doing it for a little, like very little.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like, I want to try this a little bit more.
Yeah. It's like golf, kind of, right?
Exactly
like you have that one good shot, and you're like, I got to go back and want to feel that again.
Yep.
You know, and then, mine wasn't quite like mine. Mine went better at the beginning. Like I think I remember doing good my first set, and then my second set it still went good. And then I was like, I can't wait till I bomb, because I was like, I want to know what that feels like. And then the third set I bombed, and then I felt it, and I was like, I remember being like, I can handle this, you know, like I'm doing this forever.
Yeah.
You know, once I bombed,
nice,
once I felt the bomb and knew what it felt like.
Oh yeah.
And then I realized, there's worse bombs than that. It's like,
that was a light bomb.
That was just a regular bomb. Like, you'll have worse ones than these. But then eventually gets better.
Yeah.
Like now I would consider myself bombing where the audience wouldn't know I'm bombing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally different now.
Yeah, like because you know I get yourself out of trouble in that. But when you're new, you don't know how to get yourself out of trouble. You just like eat it.
Well, like that first set, I remember I went in planned to do like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I was done it in 2.5 minutes. I had zero timing. I just blew through all of my material so fast.
Yeah. You don't know, like, yeah.
And I barely remember it because it was like over like that.
Yeah. That's so cool. Like, it's so cool everyone's path, but there's a time where you're just like, oh, this is just something I do.
Yeah.
You know, like Gary Shandling said that it's like a calling. And I'm like, I think it is. It's like almost like a calling, like people get called a priesthood or something. You know, you get called to be a comedian because there's no reason to do it that makes sense.
No,
like
no, not at all.
You're not doing it for money or glory or anything. Like, you're just doing it because it's something that you do. You know, and other people are terrified of it.
Yeah. Oh, you tell a lot of people you're standing, be like, I can never do that. It's the most terrifying. And you're like, it isn't. It isn't. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like anything else. It's like, I think like I remember talking to my proctologist about it. He's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm a comedian. And he goes, oh, geez, that's like, no, it was a urologist. It was the one that put the camera in my dick. And that guy said, like, that's the hardest job I can imagine. And I'm like, you are like he's a specialist.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's a hard thing to do. He's like, yeah, but I could never do what you do. And I was like, I would have thought he would look down his nose at me, you know, like say, are you one of those, like, just talk about your dick and stuff? And, you know, and like, yeah, that's what I do. My daughter one time said to me, "You still doing that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You're better than that. Like, are you still telling dick jokes?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I am."
That's what I do.
And then she's like, "You're better than that." I'm like, "No, I am not.
I am who I am.
Yeah, I'm not better than that. I'm the furthest thing from better than that." I like it. It's like fart jokes. It's like if you fart and you're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
You didn't do it on purpose. You heard the fart and laughed. Like
Farts are funny.
It's hilarious. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Do you have a family?
I don't know. I would just have wife and dogs.
Wife and dogs, and your wife didn't give birth to the dogs.
No.
She's a human being, right?
Human being.
That's good. But you have a wife though, right?
Yeah.
And so like, has she been cool with it?
The stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just got to, like, balance it, right? Like, make sure I'm putting in the home time.
Yeah.
But she's very cool with it.
Yeah, that's cool. Because that's like something I find the most common thing I hear from people is your wife must be a saint to let you do this. That's what I hear a lot.
My wife is more thankful I'm not telling these jokes in front of her.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
I'm not making her go. No. Like, that's the thing. I don't make her go to any of these things. I'm just doing it because I like it. And like, what does this have to do with her?
Yeah,
and my wife doesn't think of it like she would let me do it. She's like, he wants to do it, he does it. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not. No one lets me do nothing.
No. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not out every single night of the week. So, like,
Yeah.
it's not like a letting me out.
Do you tell any jokes about your wife?
Oh, yeah.
And does she ever have a problem with it?
No. Like, usually I run them past her beforehand, but.
Oh, yeah. You ever had one get turned down? Like where?
No, because like I know as well. Like I'm.
I can't never say that.
Yeah. That type of thing, but.
I've had a couple, and I always just say it's not about you; it's about everyone's wife.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, mine's like specific.
I know, but I'm like saying like I'm saying it like it's my wife to make it a specific thing, but it's not something that is only she does. It wouldn't be funny if only she was the only wife that did it. Like, I don't think.
Right.
Like, I think what's funny is that everyone's wife does that, and that it's like that you just don't usually talk about it or whatever.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Like, that's what I think. But so a lot of people are like, what do you think when he says stuff like that? I'm like, well, like, it's not really, it's just a joke, you know? It's a joke about everyone's wife, really. It's not a joke about my wife in particular. Right? Like,
just a joke in the head.
sometimes like, I don't know. Who cares?
Well, yeah.
You ever like have a fantasy about being divorced?
Not yet.
That's one that I was like, I started writing this like series about being a divorced comic.
Okay.
Because I had a lot of kind of joke, like over premises, right? But like it's saying, because I would always think like, what if my wife divorced me? Like, I would be fucked in these ways, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so then I would just pretend I got divorced and then make me fucked in those ways, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or if I can't do laundry, then all my laundry's pink, you know? Like, and like, you know, like, and I would just kind of, and then because I've never dated anyone before other than my wife, I would like make it so that like I don't know how to date, right?
Right.
You could play with that. And then, because I would really be lost in a dating world because I've never done it, right? And then I would hate it.
I mean, I've done it, and I don't want to get back out there.
Oh, I mean, it sounds terrible,
no,
right?
Yeah, God, no.
I wouldn't want to do that ever. I can't even impress.
I forgot you've never done that. Yeah.
Never dated. Like, and it takes people like a good half a year at least to get to like me. Like, they don't like me right off the hop.
Right.
I've been told I'm not approachable and off-putting. You know, like people are like they're repelled by me.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that like that?
Well, I think we bonded right away over our financial backgrounds. So.
Yeah, I couldn't believe there was another one, like another banker with a sense of humor, and you weren't like chased out with a torch and pitchfork.
Yeah. I'd like to think I'm not like a traditional banker either.
No. Not traditional banker, no. And you know what? Beggars can't be choosers now either, right?
No.
That's the thing. Like, they just don't have enough to pick from because people don't want to do the way they've got it set up that much anymore. So like, let me do it my way or I'm gone, and you'll be more fucked.
And if you're half competent, right? Like, they want to keep you around.
Yeah. It's a lot better that you're out telling, jokes than, or, what would it take? It would have to get you fired.
My own, without maybe customer information would be my only guess. Like,
because you say people get canceled.
Yeah.
Like, you have a job, right? So that's how you could get canceled.
If you said something like super.
Yeah, on stage.
And it got recorded, but like people still have to see it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. You
would honestly have to be trying something kind of probably fucked up anyway, right? Like, because the audiences weed out most of that stuff. Like, you can't even have a target with a joke anymore, like that, where it's remotely mean, like, unless it's yourself,
right?
You shouldn't. So, or the audience will just feel bad for the victim of the joke, even if it's imaginary. They'll get upset for the imaginary victim, And so I think it's just important that we. It's not that it's right or wrong. It's just the way comedy's gone. Like, the audiences don't laugh as much for those kind of jokes.
For sure.
So as a comedian, we just notice they're not laughing. Don't tell them.
Yep. They're not buying what I'm selling.
Yeah. So you move on to the next thing, or you recraft the same premise to make it more suitable so the audience enjoys it, and then you try it again, right? Like, that's the craft of it.
Yeah.
But if you get caught when you've took a wrong turn or misspoke, or walk too close to the edge, and you would have something to lose, right? That's what I think.
But at the same time, it has to be somebody has to be filming it, then it has to get posted. No one gives a shit about any of us, even if we try. We can be screaming from the rooftops, look at my set, look at my right?
set. No one gives a fuck. I know. My sister was one time on this show, and she just said something innocently to try to raise money, because she was raising money for the place she worked, and they were not allowed but she said she would get a day off work if she raised the most money or something.
Okay.
Which you couldn't say.
Oh.
And so very quickly she started getting in trouble for this, and then she asked me to take the episode down. I did. And then, but before I took the episode down, it got a huge amount of listens. And it turns out it was all people at my sister's work who had this story. No one was listening to my podcast at the time. It was really a bump in my listenership. And then I was like, what is going on? And then they had a rumor that I was the Canadian Howard Stern, and Lori went on this real dirty talk show and stuff. Whoever was describing me was being very generous. And then and so my sister's just on this show that literally no one would ever hear, and she got punished for it. It's the worst luck ever. I felt so terrible for her, because
did she lose her job, or
no? Didn't lose the job. She just was. I think she lost the. Maybe she's kicked out of the contest. She couldn't win the contest. I don't know. There's some repercussions.
We're keeping your money, but you're going to the contest.
Yeah. Anyways, there were some repercussions. I don't think she works there anymore, but that's her own choice. I don't even know, to be honest. But I know there was only 2 episodes where I had to where there was actual backlash. And one time I did a dead baby joke, and it created a bit of a stir.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I still argue about that at parties in Delhi sometimes, that when I run into this person.
You really want to...
I stand by my joke. I said it didn't give me an erection, Rob. It didn't give me an erection. There's a difference.
Oy.
I know. Do you mind if I do a little segment that we call feedback? We got feedback?
Sure.
I bring it in.
We got feedback. It's feedback. It's motherfucking feedback.
Welcome Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback this week. Just if you want to get a hold of us, you know, do that. You go to thedutchhall@gmail.com. You can go to Dutch Hall on Instagram or the Dutch Hall on the Facebooks or fucking TikTok, whatever. You just can find us and tell us what you think of the show. Or you go on our YouTube channel, subscribe there, and tell us. That's what happened this week. We got some comments on our YouTube channel. There's a lot of chit-chat about the Peter North video, which is rising up the charts. And in the Peter North video, one fella, Eric V7720, he says his secret, that being Peter North. You know what Peter North is, Rob? Is that a bit before your time?
I think I know who Peter North is.
Peter North is a Canadian porn star.
Oh, I didn't know he was Canadian.
Yeah, he's from Nova Scotia. Yeah, and Peter North was more in the 80s and 90s, known as the Load Man. He would produce an incredible amount of seminal fluid, and in order to create like a silly string type ejaculate that would
Lovely.
That would a lot of times be put in slow motion and stuff, and you could see it like squirting across the room. It was just fantastic. It was artful, and anyways, he said he had a lot of secrets to do with his diet, and some of it was, of course, genetics. But this guy, Eric V7720, he says that his secret, as relayed by Tommy Lee, was sticking an entire bundle of celery in a blender and drinking it like a smoothie the night before a shoot with a little pineapple juice to enhance the taste. Eh? It's a gentleman as well. And anyways, this guy, Eric V, he used the word like enhance the taste. He didn't say make it taste better, eh? This guy's like smart. And this is the type of listeners I got.
Nice.
Eh? I just want to say that to you. And then on the other hand, on also on YouTube, we got Brett the Brat, who says, "Holy shit, this is bad. LOL. You guys come across like two window lickers that got left in the alternative school AV room."
Oh.
Which is alternative school? Is that for like people that are slower? Is that more of an England thing?
I don't know.
I think
that'd be my guess.
Yeah. He wasn't a fan of our show. So then I went into his thing, and then I looked at his stuff, Brett the Brat, and I'm not a fan of his stuff either. No, you like Satan, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I would say like window licker, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's saying we seem like dummies, right? Like slow, like plodding dum-dums. I'm like, that's pretty accurate. Like a window licker, I don't take a lot of offense to it. We are pretty much two window lickers. Like he was talking, I don't even know who the other guy was he's talking about. But like, yeah, that's what you're watching, dickhead. This show is me. I'm an idiot. I don't have any skills. I can just see half the time my fucking video feed is flickering off. Like I'm a complete mess. You know it. I know it. Every person knows it. But we still watch it. Look, I just did it again by punching that thing. It went out. I want to see if I can fix it. Main properties. Bang. Bang. Let's do it. There we go. Back in business.
Like an old Nintendo, you got to hit it a few times.
Yeah. This thing is like it's a chitty bang bang machine that makes a podcast run, and it's cooked up by a mad scientist who smokes too much weed. Do you not understand? That's the Dutch Hall. It's taken me like 10 years to craft this vision of shittiness that has become my show. Enjoy it or fuck off. You know, like that's. I'm sorry, Rob.
But please like and subscribe.
Yeah, please like it and subscribe if you like it. But if you don't like it, lick my balls and subscribe. I don't give a fuck. Like, seriously. But actually, thanks for helping the algorithm, Brett the Brat. Anyways, that has been feedback. We got feedback. Hit the stinger. And if you'd like, you can get a hold of us. That's it. Anyways, so Rob, you got anything coming up that you want to make people aware of?
No, not too much lately.
No, that's good. That's good. You don't want to be shilling your wares all the time. You came in just to be a good guy.
Came in just to be a good friend, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, you know what? I might actually, if I got another game to play,
Okay.
but I want to write these jokes because we've been off for so long that I've had just opportunities to write jokes.
Okay.
And then every time I've had a chance to record it or do anything, I've never been able to tell it. So I'm going to grab my jokes. Then I'm going to read the jokes. We'll call it Dutch Hall News. And then you will say if it's good or bad joke.
Okay.
If it's a bad joke, unfortunately, I don't want to sway you. But if it's a bad joke, I'll be punished for it somehow.
Okay.
If I think it's a good joke and you're calling it a bad joke and I think you're just trying to pad your score.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. Then you're just not. Yeah. If I can't trust you, Rob, then why do you have a guest on my show? Huh? So I'm just going to pause it for a second and then grab it. I'll be right back. Oh, we're getting close to the end anyways. That went fast. Did we really go? Oh, I guess. Anyways, we're getting close to the end here, Rob.
Okay.
I can't even believe it. But
Time flies.
yes. So this is the Dutch Hall News. The Dutch Hall News. Doot doot doot. It's the Dutch Hall News, right? Normally I have Johnny helping me sing that, and it sounds better. It goes, Dutch Hall News, Dutch Hall News, doot doot doot. It's the Dutch Hall News. That's it. But it's not. You don't have to sing it. It's a terrible song. Okay, so joke one. You ready?
Okay.
I gotta catch my breath. I ran right to the house.
Now, will these make it into your set?
No.
Okay.
All
There's
these jokes. You know, one time they did. We just played a game where we had to write stupid jokes based on like a formula, and I used one of those in a set. Yeah, but it started on this show. I like my women like I like my peanut butter. Chunky, easy to spread, and all over my cock. And kept in the kitchen. But I've expanded it and tagged it since the original.
Okay.
The original was just chunky and all over my cock. So, there is birth of jokes that come from this sometimes, but it's just fucking, like, that's a fucking around joke when I just kind of get, like, where I don't know where to go on stage for a bit, and I need a filler or a segue, and I'll just yell that at the audience, and then it gets a laugh, and then I just kind of laugh because it makes me laugh. Sometimes you have to put in one joke for yourself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Most of my sets for myself.
Okay, first one. 11-year-old fingerboarding world record. Oh, I need glasses. Do I have them? I must still do it without glasses. I thought I had
I had
glasses.
them around here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. I'll get them. I'm going to get them, too. I want to do this right. It'll help my timing if I can see. Okay, an 11-year-old breaks the fingerboarding world record. An 11-year-old Virginia boy earned the Guinness Book of World Records for the most ollies on a fingerboard in 1 minute. To this yet 11-year-old boy, I have two things to say. One, congratulations on your world record. And two, put down the board or get used to being a virgin. I'm going to give you the point for that one.
Okay.
Because that one was a bomb, okay? Bad.
Could have hit a little harder.
Yeah. I'm still out of breath from the run. Okay,
Some of my jokes.
285-year-old lemon auction for $1,780. And the auction house was shocked that I should do this. A 285-year-old lemon was auctioned off for nearly $2,000, right? That's more succinct.
Yeah.
The auction house was shocked that the petrified fruit found in the back drawer of a cabinet. Oh, fuck me. I should read this before. Okay, point for Rob. Okay. Here, this one's going to be better. Timmins Restaurant closure makes headlines. Timmins, that's up by North Bay.
Yeah.
News of an unexpected closing of a Pizza Hut in Timmins went viral when a picture of a sign explaining the closure was circulated. The sign explains that the restaurant was closed due to unforeseen circumcisions. It turns out that a table of patrons misunderstood the meaning of you need to leave a tip.
I like that.
Ah, I got
Yeah,
one.
that's a good one.
There we go. 1 point for Pete. Okay, Indian police clear a suspected Chinese spy pigeon after 8 months in bird lockup. Okay, the pigeon's ordeal began in May when it was captured near a port in Mumbai with 2 rings tied to its legs carrying words that looked like Chinese. Police suspected it was involved in espionage and detained it. In other international news, American officials are said to be no closer to releasing the beaver they found in Minnesota looking shifty. Aha, you laughed.
I'll give that to you.
Yeah, that one counts. But I sold it with the weird stare of trying to get something
But
up from you.
being shifty with the stare.
Yeah. At trendy Japanese cafes, customers enjoy cuddling with pigs. You hear about this? You hear about this? This latest now? The latest craze in Japan is the pig cafe. Customers pay 2,200 yen for the first 30 minutes in the company of pigs. A reservation is required. Some people have raised ethical questions about whether the animals enjoy the experience as much as the humans. They prefer that the animals are instead murdered and eaten on toast with lettuce and tomato.
It's pretty good.
Yeah? I had a bunch of other shit that I don't know why it was still there. I should have just kept it between one and the other. I'm not going to give any points for that one because I blanked it.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was it. Was that it? My last fucking joke? Ah, that's it. I gotta end with something stronger.
Yeah. Got a closer?
Wait. Okay, let's play a game. Okay, we'll play a game to end. This is it. This is for all the marbles. For all the marbles. This is for the Clean Flow prize pack. Okay?
Okay.
You have to guess which of these stories did not happen in Alabama. Okay? It's like 2 truths and a lie, you know? So I got 3 news stories.
Oh, okay. New news stories.
Yeah, they're new news stories. They're things that happened recently in the news. 2 of them really happened in Alabama and 1 did not.
Okay.
So you have to guess which one did not. Okay? So this is first one. Nude man nabbed by police after cannonball plunge into giant aquarium at Bass Pro Shops in Alabama. Does that one sound believable?
So?
But, yeah. Kangaroo spotted running through neighborhood, later returned to Alabama home. There's a kangaroo spotted running through a neighborhood in Alabama.
It's questionable.
And third story, firefighters capture python coiled around utility wires in Alabama.
Yeah, I have to go with the kangaroo.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's true. Point for Pete, because you get an anti-point. That means it's tied. That means we have to go to a third one. Anyways.
Which one was the lie?
The lie is the python.
Oh.
Yeah, the python coiled around there. It turns out that was actually Florida. Yeah? Just changed it a little bit. It's the same fucking thing. But kangaroo, yeah, it turns out a person had the kangaroo in his house. It was just a house pet. Turns out it's not a smart house pet to have.
Oh.
Yeah. Alabama, there's no rules in it. Gets owning a kangaroo. But I'll tell you, the reaction of the people on the street, because there's video of it, it's hilarious. Yeah, because no one believes that there's a kangaroo running through. Yeah. I saw one time in my forest right behind my house. This isn't a joke, but it's just real. I saw what I thought was a fucking ostrich, and because it was a tom turkey, but it was so big that I was like, this fucking thing is an ostrich. Like, it looks like an ostrich. Like, it was so tall, and when it was running through the forest in front of me, it looked like an ostrich running, right? And then like a week later, I saw this thing, and I swear to God, it was a fucking kangaroo. But it was a huge jackrabbit. It was just an enormous jackrabbit.
Oh, nice.
But it looked so big. I never seen a rabbit that big that I thought it looked like a kangaroo. Isn't that weird? In like a matter of 2 weeks in the same forest, right behind my house.
Things grow in your forest.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I think everything's doing fine because I see wildlife all the time. It's so cool. I like it. But there's tons of coyotes lately. Helen, yeah, man. Did you get coyotes in Brantford?
Not too bad.
No?
Got a lot of like everything else.
Oh, yeah? You know, when I lived in LA, there was coyotes, like when you go for walks in your neighborhood. Like I lived in Silver Lake, which is like in the hills. And you'd go for walks in the hills and you would just run into coyotes in the daytime.
Oh.
Like tons of coyotes in the neighborhood. You'd see them every day.
But they just didn't care?
They were scared of you, just same as I was scared of them. But I'd run into them all the time, and like I would never got not scared of them. Fucking like you still can't trust a wild animal.
No.
Yeah, they're pretty. But it was like they were so common, and because there was lots for them to eat. There was like a lot of animals eating fruit. So then, because there's fruit trees in people's yards and stuff, and then they would eat those animals. So it worked out good for them. It's just amazing how it's like when you go to New York or something, there's no animals.
No.
You know?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, and then you go to LA, you're in a big city like that. You think you're not going to have wildlife, but you have it everywhere. It's really kind of cool. That's why I like LA better, but that's the only thing I like better about it. You ever been?
Been there once, but only for like a couple days.
Yeah.
After my wedding, I got married in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then
where? At the little chapel?
No, not at the Little Chapel.
yeah.
It's a place called the Grove, so it's an actual like resort.
Oh yeah.
But then we honeymooned over in LA for like 4 days or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I went and we got married at the little chapel one time.
Nice.
Yeah, it was my second wedding.
Yeah.
Same girl. Yeah. It was like 40th birthday, or her 40th birthday.
Nice. Actually, we want to do that for my 40th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at the little chapel too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It was fun. We did a group wedding. There was like four couples that renewed our vows.
Yeah.
And we didn't know we were all religious. And then we all went up to the thing and they go, it's kind of a shakedown, just so you know, because they give you a deal for the package, but they don't tell you. Then they get the girls all like with flowers and shit at the back for the procession in, and they're all getting excited and stuff. And then the minister goes, okay, it's you have to tip between like $60 and $200, and it's a mandatory tip. We have to get the tip before the girls are allowed to start coming down the aisle. Like they really shake you down.
It's Vegas.
Yeah, and then all the guys who I told, like, it's just gonna cost you $75 or whatever it was, they were looking at me like, fuck, I was gonna pay this, you know.
Yeah.
Then, so now they're mad at me. But the girls are all excited at the back. You can't really let them down.
It's too late now.
Because they're being cheap, you know. So then we all paid it. But then they go, do you want to be like a regular service or a Christian service? And all four of us, like at the same time, go Christian.
Oh.
And then I think we all kind of like were surprised ourselves. Like we didn't even know that we were Christian. It just came out, you know.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine having a wedding service though, being like because that's how I grew up, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah. But yeah, we all said it, and I think we're all different religions.
Oh.
No, two Catholics. And then the other two were two different things, whatever they were, but other kinds of Christian. No, One was Orthodox, and one was, who cares? Anyways, you got anything you want to talk about or anything they want to ask of me before we end the show?
No, I don't think so. We didn't get to talk too much banking. We never did.
Oh, well.
We can do that next time.
What do you mean, like, to talk about how you can stay? Or yeah, kind of. And because like I always think it's amazing. Like I left so I could do it, and you didn't. You were doing it and doing it, and I don't know if the times changed where they're more tolerant, or maybe I just built it up as that I couldn't do it.
You know what? I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah.
Like,
really, they don't. Like,
yeah.
In reality, they don't.
I'm also not in a sales role either, so like my face isn't out there in front of customers.
So, yeah.
So like that might help a little bit.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I just can't. Like, I do get really scared about. Like, I do legit have PTSD.
Really?
About it. Yeah. It does give me the sweats big time.
Oh no,
You got a better attitude or something. Like, that's the thing. I had a buddy of mine that called me up and he said, because he still works there, and I left. And he was like, you know what it is with us? We both recognize bullshit, but I don't let it bug me and you do. And that is kind of the difference. I couldn't let it go. Like, I just let the little things that are obviously bullshit become like deal breakers.
But like any job has bullshit, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So I think if you're finding that in whatever you're doing, you're not happy.
yeah,
And so like it's not really about what you think it is. It's just you're not happy there and you need to go do something else.
Yeah.
But if you're happy, if you're like usually the job's very little to do with your happiness. It's like you find your happiness
Right.
at your job.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that, man. If I was a happier person, I would have enjoyed my job more. I think that now in
Sure.
hindsight, but I wasn't. Maybe it all leads you to where you're supposed to go, I think.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also had a bunch of shit jobs before I got there anyway, so like I knew that.
Yeah. That's the thing about the jobs. Like of all the jobs I quit, I'm happily burn all the bridges.
Yeah.
Like happily, except for one. The one bridge, not that I would ever want to work there again, but I don't want to burn the bridge because I do appreciate what they did for me.
Right.
But I would hopefully never have to go back, you know, like, but I would, but I do appreciate it and they were at least like good, you know, like I was proud of the work I did and stuff, but two of the other like banks, I hated it. And I was ashamed that I worked at both of them. That's the truth.
Nice. Yeah.
One was only 4 days. Like that was.
That's quick.
Yeah, that was. I knew right away. This is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is bad, and they are different.
Oh yeah.
I think you can like we only have 5 of them, and there's a big difference in each one of them, and they all have their pros and cons. Yeah, that's the real truth, and you can just find it, and you really don't. Is there still a lot of like people that bounce around between them?
Like switching bank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like they'll try to work. To get paid more or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll
Jump ship.
Yeah.
They might only stay for like a couple of years and jump right back.
Yeah.
But
Some people get really good at that. It's like they never really have to show they're good at anything. They just keep getting new jobs, and as soon as they find out they're crap, they get another one somewhere else.
unfortunately, like that's how you get like the bigger pay bumps. So
Yeah.
It's shitty, but it
That time I lasted 4 days, I had to pay back a signing bonus. That's how much I knew it was wrong.
really.
Yeah, I couldn't even stay till I got to keep that.
Oh man.
Yeah, like I couldn't put up with it. Yeah, I was like, this is wrong. I'm out. It was a mistake. I shouldn't come.
Wow.
I felt terrible. The guy really stuck his neck out for me.
Yeah. Oh.
He looked like I crushed him. He was like covering my desk while I was like waiting to get me because he thought I was the guy. I was not the guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weren't the answer.
It was. I never seen that guy again. I saw him only one time. We were getting on a train. I was getting on a train, and he was like getting off.
Oh.
And you could tell he's like, "What the fuck happened to you?" You know, like, and then, but I've never seen him since. And I like the fact that he's got to wonder what I'm up to. That's the thing. You create a legend, because you're in that world, and people think you can't get out because it's kind of it gets kind of cushy after a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
You get used to all that stuff, and then when you do get out, people are like, "How'd you do it?" And then you're like, "Well, mostly by like really like feeling like I made a horrible mistake." And then eventually you just forget you made the horrible mistake, and then you just move on with the fact that you're never gonna make that money again, and you're never gonna
Goodbye, salary.
have that security again, and then you just get used to living without it, and it feels more like freedom to me. Like that's what I was used to because I grew up on a farm, right?
Right, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was used to just having that like entrepreneurial vibe, you know. So to me, that suited me a lot better.
Nice. Yeah. No, fair enough.
And comedy's got elements of that, and you can mix it with others things, and then still have that kind of freedom. That's kind of what I was thinking.
I get that. My job's good with like it's very like 9 to 5. I'm not taking anything home with me or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So like that.
That was not my experience.
Yeah. So that I think is like, because I had previous roles in the bank that were a lot of taking it home with me. And whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of changed for me in my career in like the last couple of years.
Yeah. That was another thing why I couldn't last, because I took other people's problems
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
personally. So if they were in financial trouble, I felt like I was in financial trouble, you know? And then you got like a whole bunch of people's problems that weigh you down, man. And so after a while, you just kind of get yeah, you just get tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, I had to get out of being like the customer facing because I took too much of that on.
Yeah. Well, it's great, man. I really appreciate you coming in this week. If you'd like to, how can they follow you on the socials?
At Robbie D17.
At Robbie D17, that will be up on the screen when we put it on the YouTube. And if you are watching this, please, to this point, if you've got to this point of the video and you're actually watching me, then you should hit like and subscribe because you've made this commitment already. Why don't you just help me a little bit more? And Rob, because even though you didn't win tonight's game, you still tied at 5-5. Tie goes to the contestant on this show because the host shouldn't win. So you will be rewarded something out of our prize cabinet today.
Woohoo.
You will get to choose from an assortment of clean flow prizes. There's some spiky ball stuff. There's beer koozies from people like the Second Mouse in Delhi, and who else has got stuff in there? There's just oodles and oodles of stuff.
Okay.
You'll pick whatever you like. And so thank you to all of our sponsors and everyone that's helped. Go support us on Patreon. Tell a friend about our show. Go support Live Comedy. Check out my dates at PeteVanDykeComedian.com. And until next week, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday. Bye-bye. The secret word was pussy.